that there are three types of reaction. Okay, depends on the gunas. Yeah, the gunas are the tamas, rajas, and sattva. So these are Sanskrit terms that explain how the whole universe, the whole nature, is can be seen or characterized through this quality, that is the quality of darkness, tamas, yeah, and quality of action, movement is rajas, and the quality of purity and balance is sattva. The people would respond to stress depending on their main guna. Yeah? So they can have a tamasic response to stress, a rajasic response to stress, and the sattvic response to stress. Okay? The guideline is you would have to break through the tamas, yeah, the darkness. You have to calm down the rajas, the agitation, the projection, and you have to cultivate the sattva, which is nourishing the qualities of balance, harmony, purity, and knowledge. So when the person is lazy, slothful, yeah, and they don't care. I don't have to go to work, so I don't care. So you don't take bath, you can throw your clothing, and your room house is completely disorganized. You don't clean, you don't organize. So that is called tamasic expression. Yeah. That can come from the stress response. That means, I don't see anything, I don't know the way out, I don't understand anything anyway, so who cares? Yeah? So then you fall into that idea of I don't care. Okay? And then you become indulgent in food. I eat whatever anyway. What do I care about my life and health? It can be taken away anytime, so I don't care. Yeah, and you indulge in too much sleeping, too much eating, and then you become passive. You spend too much time watching movies or watching news. You become passive. You're no longer participating actively, become aware of your life anymore, but you give up your life and you go into some kind of movie, some kind of news somewhere. And then you lose you cannot grasp your reality anymore when people are so much in the virtual reality. So then you can become depressed. Okay, that's also expression of tamas. Yeah? You become depressed and you become fearful. So fear, anxiety is an expression of tamas. Okay? It makes you lose yourself. Okay? So then you can become complacent. I mean, you don't make any effort anymore. You hide in denial, yeah, that you can do anything about your life. Okay, you deny your happiness, you deny your capacity, you live in darkness. And then the victim attitude. Victim attitude means always somebody is doing it to me. Yeah, so I'm not responsible of what happened to me. So that is called the victim attitude. Okay? And the live in the past also is an expression of tamas. Yeah? All the time you're talking about the past, you relive the past, and so that is the tamasic attitude. Okay? Some people they cannot stick to any routine, any schedule, especially now when they have to create their own routine and their own schedule, and they cannot do it. They are not disciplined. They cannot turn inward. Impossible for them to learn yoga or meditation because they cannot follow any kind of routine. So now the rajasic stress response. Okay. So the rajasic stress response, so the idea is the ego is very strong when you are rajas, when you are the victim to that rajasic view, then then you separate yourself and the rest of the world. Yeah. So then you become angry because what you want and how things are not the way how you want. So you can become angry. So anger is a rajasic expression, okay, of but if a person is depressed, and they are not moving, they're not doing anything, no eating, no anything, then it's better that you encourage them to become to be stronger in their opinion about things, and they can become angry, but it's somehow it's better because then after they can calm down. So the idea is you need to get away from the tamas, and you need to at least see the rajas that is going on, and then with rajas it somehow is easier because you can calm it down through yoga. So the rajasic expression is they can become angry, and we talk about people can become violent, okay, when the situation is keep maintaining and there's no change in sight, and people start to become angry. They can become angry with the government, they can become angry at their neighbor, and they can be violent. So that's the rajasic expression of stress response. The blaming attitude. The blaming attitude is a rajasic. And you never really look at yourself, but you always blame somebody for creating the problem to you. Okay? So the accusing, the pointing finger. Okay? And the hoarding tendency is a rajasic expression as well. You want more and more, the greediness and the hoarding of the material stuff, and you're thinking that it gives you more security. And also there are some people you see they don't hesitate to break rules. They don't like rules. The rules can apply to people, but they themselves they don't mind breaking rule. And the me and mine attitude, anything that is too much about me, too much about mine, is called rajasic. Okay, rajasic means try to temper it down, and any selfish kind of idea, as far that I enjoy myself and I get what I want, the rest of the world can suffer, I don't care. That is the rajasic attitude. You try to take advantage of others to gain name and fame and wealth. So this is a rajasic attitude. Okay, so try to temper this down. Okay? And then the last point is the sattvic stress response. That means this is what we like to cultivate in ourselves and cultivate in others. And this life in peace, in harmony, and health, that would remove us from our fear and our reaction, and immediately we gain peace. Is the sattvic response. So the sattvic response, like that, you have to be able to see the bigger picture, not only seeing whatever that you feel yourself, but seeing the big picture that everyone is going through. Okay, to have clarity, have knowledge, and because it's based on openness and heart and knowledge, so you need to be able to be selfless, be able to be helpful in this situation, be compassionate, be charitable. Okay, and we hear news that some landlords completely forgiving people of their rent in this time. So these are charitable, understanding kind of attitude. We call it sattvic attitude, and we need to cultivate. So whatever you have, you need to share. And if you have to sacrifice today not to eat your favorite food, so that you can share in the suffering of so many people, and then you stay at home instead of don't care and go out to buy your specific favorite food, and you don't care about consequence. So these are called rajasic, tamasic attitude, and not a sattvic attitude. Okay, so the sattvic attitude, you are charitable, you see the big picture, you are prayerful because you recognize that there is something that is bigger than anybody, and you pray to that. So that is sattvic. You are forgiving. If people make mistake, but they don't know, they are stressed, so you forgive them. Okay, you surrender. You learn to surrender to God's will, to see the big picture and accept it. And then you practice yoga. You practice deep breathing. Okay. So everything in this universe is operating through these three gunas. You need to start to see things that way. Okay? The gunas operate in the physical, in the mental, and the emotional level, and they obscure our true nature. So beyond the gunas, beyond these things happening, there is that level of you can say of consciousness or of reality that is beyond, beyond the denial, beyond the darkness, beyond the action, and beyond even the harmony of the balance. It's completely pure. Okay, so that is ideally, but right now what we want is to nurture at least the sattva, because in the sattva or in that harmony we will be able to perceive the light within.